Dear students, today we are going to start chapter number 2, Solutions, part 3. This video contains depression in freezing point depression as consequence of vapor pressure lowering, freezing point depression and concentration of solute, molar mass of solute from freezing point depression, osmotic pressure, semipermeable membrane, osmosis, osmotic pressure experiment, isotonic, hypotonic, and hypertonic solutions, reverse osmosis, colligative properties of electrolytes, Vanta factor, modification of colligative properties, Vanta factor, and degree of dissociation. Depression in freezing point. First of all, we have to see what is the definition of freezing point. Freezing point, it is the temperature at which liquid and solid are in equilibrium and two phases have the same vapor pressure. Or another one definition, freezing point of a liquid is a temperature at which vapor pressure of solid is equal to the vapor pressure of liquid. Vapor pressure of solid is equal to vapor pressure of liquid. And the general experimental observation or the direct consequence is when non-volatile solute is added into a pure solvent, its freezing point is lowered. If T0F is the freezing point of pure solvent and TF is the freezing point of solution, and freezing point of pure solvent is more than freezing point of solution, and the difference is calculated by using this equation. Delta TF is equal to T0F minus TF, means difference in freezing point depression is equal to the difference between the freezing point of pure solvent and freezing point of solution. So delta TF is equal to T0F minus TF. This is called as depression in freezing point. Freezing point depression as a consequence of vapor pressure lowering. When non-volatile solute is added in a solvent, freezing point of solvent decreases and vapor pressure also decreases, or there is lowering of vapor pressure take place. If vapor pressure and temperature is plotted against each other, three curves obtained. Curve AB, which is solid solvent, curve CD, liquid solvent, curve EF, solution. Curve AB and CD intersect at point B, and this temperature is called as freezing point of solvent. here T0 equal to TF, or T0 is freezing point of solvent or TF is freezing point of solvent, and curve EF and curve AB intersect at point E. That temperature is freezing point of solution, here represented by capital T or TF0, freezing point of solution. Freezing point of solution is lower than freezing point of freezing point of solvent. TF is greater than TF0, and the vapor pressure curve of solution lies below solvent curve. Why the freezing point of solvent is lowered? Why freezing point lowered? Freezing point is lowered because of at freezing point of pure liquid, the attractive forces among molecules are large enough. Attraction is more or strong to cause the change of phase from liquid to solid. And in case of solution, solute molecules are separated from solvent and attractive forces are less. So due to less attraction or decrease in attractive forces, solution temperature is lowered to cause phase change. So freezing point of solution is less than freezing point of solvent. Freezing point depression and concentration of solute. As experimentally verified, for dilute solutions, the freezing point depression delta TF is directly proportional to molality of a solution. By removing proportionality sign, delta TF is equal to KF into small m. This KF is called freezing point constant or freezing point depression constant or cryoscopic constant. Or freezing point depression constant. If small m is equal to 1, means molality of solution is 1, this equation becomes delta TF is equal to KF, means the cryoscopic constant thus is the depression in freezing point produced by 1 molar solution of a non-volatile solute, and the unit of freezing point depression constant or cryoscopic constant Kf is equal to delta Tf by small f, and unit of temperature is Kelvin or degree Celsius divided by unit of molality, mole per kg or mole into kg raised to minus 1. So the unit of Kf becomes Kelvin kg mole raised to minus 1 or Celsius kg mole raised to minus 1. Molar mass of solute from freezing point depression. We know depression of freezing point is directly proportional to molality of solution. By removing proportionality sign, we get this equation delta Tf is equal to Kf into small m, where delta Tf is depression of freezing point, Kf is cryoscopic constant, small m is molality. And we know molality is the ratio of number of moles of solute and mass of solvent in kg. So value of molality becomes 1000 into capital W2 divided by capital M2 into W1. And by putting this value of small m, that is molality, in this equation, molecular weight or molar mass of solute is calculated, and the formula is capital M2 is equal to 1000 into Kf into W2 divided by delta Tf into capital W1. In this way, molar mass of solute is calculated by using freezing point depression. Osmosis. The spontaneous and unidirectional flow of solvent molecules through a semi-permeable membrane into the solution. See the diagram. First diagram, in which there is a flow of solvent molecules in the solution, and the net flow of solvent, direction of flow is from solvent to solution through semi-permeable membrane. This is semi-permeable membrane, which allows only the solvent molecules and not solute molecules. Another one definition of osmosis: flow of solvent from solution of lower concentration to the solution of higher concentration through a semi-permeable membrane is called osmosis. See the second diagram, in which net flow of solution of lower concentration to the solution of higher concentration and net flow of solution from lower concentration to higher concentration is represented by this arrow through the semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane, which allows only the solvent molecules and not solute molecules. The net result of osmosis: the liquid in the solution side increases, liquid level in the solution side increases, and the liquid level in the solvent side decreases because of solvent molecules flow from solvent side to solution side through the semi-permeable membrane. In the second diagram, the solution of lower concentration, this liquid decreases and flow through the semi-permeable membrane to solution of higher concentration, and so the solution of higher concentration liquid level increases, but the net result of the concentration of higher concentration liquid decreases the concentration, means there is decrease in concentration of solution which is originally with the higher concentration. So the net result is decrease of concentration of solution in the osmosis. Semi-permeable membrane. It is a membrane which allows the solvent molecules but not the solute molecules to pass through it. Examples: copper ferrocyanide, Cu2FeCN6, cellulose, cellulose nitrate, animal bladder. Osmotic pressure. The excess of pressure on the side of solution that stops the net flow of solvent into solution through semi-permeable membrane is called osmotic pressure. Experimental demonstration of osmotic pressure. See the diagram. In this diagram, this is beaker. It is filled with water. This is thistle funnel, which is covered by semi-permeable membrane or fastened with semi-permeable membrane and filled with sugar solution and inserted in water in inverted position. Inverted thistle funnel is inserted in water. Then the water through semi-permeable membrane enters into the solution, sugar solution, and the level of sugar solution in thistle funnel rises and hydrostatic pressure developed in thistle funnel. Due to this hydrostatic pressure, liquid tend to go in solvent, and there is equilibrium between the solution in thistle funnel and the solvent. Due to this equilibrium, the rate of forward and reverse passages are equal. The height of liquid column in the tube remains constant, and the hydrostatic pressure has stopped the osmosis. And the hydrostatic pressure that stops osmosis is an osmotic pressure represented by symbol pi, and the hydrostatic pressure is equal to H rho g. This H is height of liquid column in the tube, rho is density of solution, g is acceleration due to gravity. Isotonic, hypertonic and hypotonic solutions. First, isotonic solutions. The solutions which possess same osmotic pressure are called isotonic solutions. Let us consider the example 0.1 molar urea and 0.1 molar sucrose. These two compounds or solutions, concentration is same molar concentrations, but different concentration in gram per liter. If these solutions are separated by a semi-permeable membrane, there is no flow of solvent in either direction. So it means these solutions possess same osmotic pressure. So these solutions are called isotonic solutions. Next, hypertonic and hypotonic solutions. The solution which possess higher osmotic pressure than the other solution is called as hypertonic solution, and the solution which possess less osmotic pressure than the other solution is called as hypotonic solution. In these two examples, concentration of urea is more than the concentration of sucrose. So, with respect to sucrose, urea acts as a hypertonic solution, and with respect to urea, 0.1 molar sucrose act as a hypotonic solution. Means the solution whose concentration or the osmotic pressure is high, that solution is called as hypertonic solution, and the solution whose osmotic pressure is lower, that solution is called as hypotonic solution. Reverse osmosis. The direction of osmosis can be reversed by applying a pressure larger than osmotic pressure. The pure solvent then flows from solution to pure solvent through semi-permeable membrane. This phenomenon is called reverse osmosis. See the diagram. Due to application of pressure by using the piston, this salt water solution flow from solution to solvent fresh water side, or flow of solution from solution to solvent side through semi-permeable membrane. This type of flow of solution into pure solvent through semi-permeable membrane is called as reverse osmosis. See the process of reverse osmosis.
Osmosis. First, let's explain what osmosis is. Osmosis is a naturally occurring process in which a liquid, such as water, spontaneously passes through a membrane. The membrane or semi-permeable barrier allows some molecules, like water, through, but other molecules, like the majority of salts, are unable to easily pass through the membrane structure. The flow of liquid through such a membrane occurs naturally to try and even out the salt concentrations between the two solutions. That is, the liquid flows from the less concentrated solution, such as fresh water, to a more concentrated solution, such as seawater. When the direction of liquid flow is reversed, it's called reverse osmosis. By pressurizing the concentrated solution, in this case seawater, we are able to force water molecules in the reverse direction, from the salty seawater side through the membrane to the freshwater side.
Colligative properties of electrolyte. The experimental observations. First observation, which do not obey the relations of non-electrolytes. Second observation, greater than those to be expected for solutions of non-electrolytes of the same concentration. And third, the molar masses of electrolytes in aqueous solutions are found to be lower than the formula masses, and the observations are because of electrolytes dissociate easily, means gives ions very easily, and due to that number of particles increases and colligative property becomes more or high or increases. Van 't factor and degree of dissociation. We know strong electrolytes dissociate completely and weak electrolytes dissociate to a small extent. The weak electrolytes involve the concept of degree of dissociation that changes the value of Van 't factor I. Example of strong electrolyte KOH, which dissociate to give K plus OH minus completely, and weak electrolyte like acetic acid, which dissociate to give acetate ion and H plus ion, but the extent of dissociation is very less. So strong electrolyte dissociate completely or 100%, and weak electrolytes dissociate in the least quantity. Modification of expressions of colligative properties. First expression for lowering of vapor pressure. Delta P is equal to I into P10X2. By putting the value of X2, this equation is obtained. I into W2M1 divided by M2 into W1. We know X2 is a mole fraction of solute equal to N2 divided by N1 plus N2. But for the dilute solutions, N1 plus N2 is nearly equal to 1. Therefore, X2 is equal to N2 divided by N1. N2 is number of moles of solute and N1 number of moles of solvent, and number of moles of solute W2 divided by capital M2, mass upon molar mass of solute, divided by W1 divided by capital M1, mass of solvent divided by molar mass of solvent. By transferring this M2 to denominator and M1 to numerator, we get this equation: I into W2 M1 divided by M2 W1. Similarly, for elevation of boiling point, the equation delta TB is equal to I into Kb small m. Small m is molality. By putting the value of molality is equal to moles of solute divided by mass of solvent in kg, means W2 divided by capital M2 mole divided by W1 divided by 1000 gram. It becomes 1000 W2 divided by M2 W1 mole kg raised to -1. And by putting this value of molality, we get this equation. Delta TB is equal to I into Kb into small m. Value of m is this. So we get this equation I into 1000 Kb W2 divided by M2 W1. For depression of freezing point, delta TF is equal to I into Kf into small m, where delta TF is depression of freezing point, I is Van't Hoff factor, Kf is a constant, small m is molality. By putting the value of molality as 1000 into W2 divided by M2 into W1, we get this equation I into 1000 Kf W2 divided by M2 W1. Similarly, for osmotic pressure, pi is equal to small I into capital M into capital R into capital T. How this equation obtained? We know pi V is equal to nRT. This is the equation obtained from PV is equal to nRT, which is ideal gas equation. This is ideal solution expression with osmotic pressure pi, and by transferring this V to the right side, we get this equation pi is equal to nRT by V. But for solute, the value of number of moles is N2. So by putting the value, we get this equation pi is equal to small n2 into RT divided by V. But here N2 is number of moles of solute, R is a gas constant, which value of this constant is 0.08206 dm cube atom per Kelvin per mole, and T is absolute temperature, and we know the value of N2 divided by V is concentration in molarity. So by putting the value of molarity capital M in this equation. The equation is pi is equal to N2 RT by V. So instead of this N2 by V, we write capital M and we get this equation. Capital M R T. So by using Van 't Hoff factor, we get this equation. Pi is equal to small I into capital M into capital R into capital T. So by putting the value of relation between Van 't Hoff factor and degree of dissociation, when we consider an electrolyte AB with the subscript X and Y, in the aqueous solution it gives cation and anion, and the initial moles of salt 1 mole and 0 moles of cation and anion. But at equilibrium 1 minus alpha for salt and alpha X for cation, alpha Y for anion. If alpha is a degree of dissociation, alpha moles are dissociated and 1 minus alpha are remain undissociated, and alpha X and alpha Y, the number of moles at equilibrium for cation and anion. So the total moles after dissociation equal to 1 minus alpha plus alpha X plus alpha Y is equal to 1 plus alpha into X plus Y minus 1. This equation is obtained by removing common terms from this equation, and we know for 1 mole of electrolyte after dissociation we get the ions and the number of moles X plus Y is equal to N, that is dissociation of 1 mole of electrolyte. So by putting X plus 1 as N, this equation becomes 1 plus alpha into 1 minus N. Total moles after dissociation is equal to 1 plus alpha in bracket N minus 1, and the Van 't Hoff factor I is equal to actual moles of particles in solution after dissociation. Actual moles after dissociation divided by moles of formula units dissolved in solution. Moles of formula unit dissolved in solution. Actual moles of particle in solution after dissociation is 1 plus alpha into N minus 1. and the value of moles of formula units dissolved in solution is 1. So I is equal to 1 plus alpha into n minus 1 divided by 1. By transferring this 1 to left hand side and n minus 1 to left hand side, we get this equation: alpha is equal to I minus 1 divided by n minus 1, and this is the relation between Van't Hoff factor and degree of dissociation.